Didn't it seem like Oscar could never get anything right?
Oh, Oscar, you have no one to blame but yourself.
If it wasn't for oh.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning back in. Y'all already know what it is. This is another character breakdown from the Proud family, and this is about Oscar Proud. I feel like most of y'all that have been watching get the gist of this with the character breakdowns, but this one specifically, I want to talk about Oscar's parenting skills. Oscar as a father. Do y'all think he was a great father, or do you think he was more of a goofy deadbeat type father? And let's get into it, because I've seen many different opinions on this. Wow, they really had Oscar looking like a buffoon. He's supposed to be the black father, the head of the household, the breadwinner. And they made him like the complete opposite. So let's talk about this.
Oh, Oscar, stop being silly.
Now, most fans of the show know that Oscar tries his best, right? So that's why I'm like, when they call him a deadbeat, it's like, not really. It's just the fact that it almost seems like I said, everything he does goes wrong. He tries to provide, he tries to have a successful business, but it never works out in his favor. And he always ends up doing more things wrong than right. He's supposed to be the head of the household. He's supposed to be the father, but it seems like he even lacks the respect to even be the head of the household. His own mother, Sugar Mama, doesn't even respect him. She favors the brother Bobby more.
Oh, stop acting like a baby. Be a man.
And sometimes, in most cases, his peers don't respect him. Think about his whole feud with Wizard Kelly and how the whole thing with the basketball tournament, how Oscar could have had that large and lavish life, but he missed the basketball shot, so he ended up living an average middle-class life where his wife is the breadwinner.
All you do is sit on that couch all day long and whine.
Marriage is supposed to be about supporting your man.
Well, baby, I think my paycheck does that every week.
And when you think about it, one of the biggest gags in the show was Oscar with the Proud Snacks and how it could have become a successful business, but it's not that people didn't believe in him, it's just that the snacks were nasty, they always made people sick.
Oscar, I don't believe you. Your snacks are what made the kids sick.
The gag of how the business was never going to be successful until, the reboot, where he had the big snack amusement park.
Behold! Snackland! I took the one thing I was good at and combined it with the land on which we stand.
It was a success, but what happened? It had safety violations. He had the Proud Snacks factory, that was doing good, but what happened? Wizard Kelly, once again, comes in and shut it down, so it's like he's back at square one. He's back at not being able to provide for his family because his pipe dream, instead of working an average job, he tries to be an entrepreneur, right? Try to make a lot of money for the family. It always ends up going wrong for him. He always ends up doing something stupid or being goofy or being a buffoon, and it's like he can never win.
A quarter? I don't know why you're knocking it more than you made last week.
Any characters that he encounters within the show, they don't really take him seriously. He's the comedic relief. He's the laughing stock of the show.
I'm making money. That's what I'm making.
This is a black family, it's a black cartoon. The writers and creators, they knew what they were doing. Why do y'all think they made the black father of the show the buffoon?
Oh my God.
Then, of course, we had that common character trope of the overprotective father. We've seen this many times, and some of the creators worked on previous shows like Moesha. We saw Moesha's father, and a lot of the black shows, some other shows too, but mostly with the black shows, with the black fathers and the teenage daughters, it's that trope of the father being overprotective, and they're 16, you're not going to get married until you're 40, you're not going to get married until you're 50. Every time they got a boyfriend, there's some type of gag or some type of episode where they grilling the boyfriend and making the boyfriend feel uncomfortable. It's like,
You two didn't think I'd let you go on a date by yourselves, now did you?
and this that whole thing with the father not being able to trust the daughter. If you raise your daughter right, you should know that she's going to make mistakes, she's going to make some decisions that's a little questionable, but you should trust your daughter to know that she's not going to engage in activities where she become a teen mother. It's a cartoon, but this is the things they were alluding to because these things are based in realism. It happens in real life. Trudy was always presented as the more reasonable parent, the better understanding parent.
I'm not gonna explain myself to a kid.
She is not a kid anymore.
And this even goes into where they found out that BB had autism and Oscar was in denial.
I believe BB is showing signs of what we call autism.
And Oscar immediately gets defensive.
You calling my boy stupid? I knew pain sent us to a quack.
Dr. Lord goes on to explain that even with autism, BB is still highly intelligent and curious. It's just that he processes his emotions and social interactions differently. Oscar is still on the defense. And I gotta say, I love the realism they included here because without proper knowledge, many parents could react the way Oscar did. Theoretically, no parent would be excited to find out their child is on the spectrum, but it's not about that at all. It's about supporting your children in the best way that suits them. Dr. Lord states it perfectly by saying,
Needing support doesn't equate to lack of ability.
Trudy and Oscar hold hands as Dr. Lord continues to give them the rundown. She advises them to enroll BB in her class where she teaches exceptional children like him who are also on the spectrum, but Oscar lashes out.
I knew it. I suppose this school isn't free, is it? Huh? There's nothing wrong with BB.
Oscar, relax.
I want to ask y'all again, why do y'all think they made Oscar that way? Considering everything, this was early 2000s, but even in the reboot, you see that they still have him being a buffoon, having those stubborn ways where it seems like he's unreasonable. And things could make sense, things could work out if he wasn't so goofy acting, if he made better decisions, but it always backfires. He always ends up being the clown of the episode. Now, this is where more of that controversial topic is going to come in. I've mentioned it already, but let's get into it. Now, we know the stereotypes when it comes to black fathers and how a majority of black fathers are deadbeats. It's always the black single mother trying to raise the 3 kids in a single house. The father left them. And while sadly that's common, if you go out into the real world, you'll know that you'll see the opposite. So the creators of the show, being black, trying to make this a black family, you know, why do you think they, in a way, perpetuated that? Not by really making Oscar like deadbeat, but by making him the opposite of a breadwinner, the opposite of the head of household, a buffoon, stubborn, overprotective, not really effective.
Now where y'all been?
You forgot us again?
With the Proud Family, even the goofy characters or the over-the-top characters, they do give them redeeming qualities, but it's like, at what cost? The stereotype or like the main gist of the character is that they're goofy or they're loud or they're over the top, right? So it's kind of like when you give them 1 or 2 episodes or 1 or 2 moments in 1 or 2 episodes where they are kind-hearted or they do show emotion or they do get something right, it's kind of like, okay, the next 3 episodes, they're a buffoon again. So it's like, the issue with the Proud Family is the balance, having a balance in the characters. Like, we see the bad sides, show us more of the good sides. We know that Penny is the protagonist. We know that Trudy is supposed to be the mother that has everything together. She has her moments too, but she's well kept. She's well to do. She's well together. But for Oscar, he's just like a loose cannon, unpredictable. My answer to the question is, I do think Oscar was a good father. Great father?
Down like that, okay?
Here's the thing. Nobody, no parent has the rule book on how to be a parent. You live and you learn as your child grows and develops. I said this in the Trudy video. But with him and his character and the way they wrote him and the way they still write him, they make him more of a buffoon than a provider. And in season 3 of the reboot of the Proud Family, I know that they're going to keep using him for comedic relief, but I hope that they give him more happy endings, more successful endings, and more storylines where he really feels like the father of the show and not the court jester. With all of that, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Do y'all think Oscar was a good father, or do you think he was just a buffoon who just happened to have this family and he can never get anything right? Or do you see, like me, where it's in the middle and it really depends on the way they wrote his character? He has redeeming qualities, but the goofiness always outweighs it. Please, let me know your thoughts down below. This should be a really interesting discussion, debate, whatever has it. But I really want to know your opinion, because I've seen this discussion many times and I've seen different opinions from both sides that make sense. So I just want to see y'all's, and let's really get this discussion going. Let's see what they do for season 3. Hopefully they make Oscar a better father, a better husband, a better businessman next season.
I would like to see it.
So with that, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.
I forget my